as society gets more cold and there's more people that are succumbing to the illusions of separation, there's less of a world open to hearing what someone really thinks about this world, their circumstances, slavery. Today is less open in a way than the years after 9/11. Less open, not more open. Now, you may live a lifestyle to where, you may have more knowledge and you may have a lot of Facebook contacts, but there's something about these political spells, both Democrats and Republicans. And they are political spells. It's like witchcraft. And it really brings out their demons. And I don't exclude Democrats or Republicans from that statement. I have seen the sharpest uptick in mental instability in general in society. And it's not something that a lot of people understand from their side of the fence, especially if they have a very strong bias. Like everybody's waking up or that they're awake. They may be so blind to the lie that they're awake that they're unable to see their own flaws, their own cruelty, their own selfishness. There's some people out there with problems that they speak about these problems on the internet, and they speak about other people on the internet about their problems without realizing that they are not the only people in the universe. They are not the only people that are XYZ, going through XYZ. So, like, there are certain things that will come up more than other things with regards to trying to maintain our spiritual backbone. And there are certain things that we have to come back to over and over and over again until we really understand. Things like compassion. And things like going beyond the illusions of separation. And to a certain degree, we're being tested. There's plenty of ways in which people that are on the dark side act in a way to others that others, if they can be lured to the dark side, they can respond to the initial evil with racism of their own, with hatred and gender warfare of their own. And it's unfortunate that some people fall prey to that. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people that are even involved in supremacy ideologies, they are working against the interests in reality of their own ethnicity, of their own perception of peoples within the illusion of separation box. Within that box itself, they're acting in an inferior way and making their own people look bad. As people like me and others say, stay away from ideologies that all people are the devil, or religions. And if you don't want that being placed against you, understand how others are doing that to others overseas, people they've never met, or people that look like foreigners. This world has never been more colder. Bringing things home and then concluding. From buying that book to walking down that street and seeing her reaction to other micro behaviors in the small town, this is one of the coldest realities that I've experienced in multiple years. I've been safe. I've been able to live off the grid. I've been free from certain levels of drama. But I've been living for multiple years in isolation after, mind you, after showing the world what I was made of. At least 12 years of activism. Now I'm in my 15th year. I really started in 2004, series in 2005. Right now it's 2019. Yeah, that's 14 and a half years. I have some serious experience under my belt. What concerns me about the odd behavior that I've seen from others, including, this is on par with people doing 180s in the alternative media, going from calling out, the New World Order to servicing Trump. The fluff boys of the alternative media, the AMTs of the world. That's disgusting. That's like a sauna that the janitor never cleans. You don't want to walk in that shower without slippers. And there's a level of ick that I can't get down with. I can't get down and touch that. I can't get down and sit on that. But the ickiness of the feeling is like that. It's grimy. It's a shower stall that needs to be cleaned. There's a bunch of stuff in that drain. We need to ground out this dirtiness that's hovering around that drain. Take on a spiritual practice. Learn to ground to the center of the earth. Ground out the political programming. Breathe in the truth and exhale the programming that you've been fed. Exhale all of that old world and breathe in the new energy. Breathe in Solar Cycle 25. When you see the rise in mindless supremacy ideologies, you will find your alien invasion. If it's aliens you seek, the real aliens, off-world agenda consciousness, right? Anti-earth, anti-creator, demiurge consciousness. Look at supremacy ideologies, and it's not limited to just white supremacy. You can look at what happened in Rwanda, and the Hutus were actually darker skinned than the Tutsis. So it doesn't matter who's dishing it out, whether it's in one place on the globe, South Africa, or somewhere else. Hatred is hatred. Unfortunately, people don't yet have the maturity to realize that horrible things have been done to other people in the name of superiority, in the name of ridding the world of the cockroaches. And that's what they called the Tutsis. So when you hear Alex Jones, right, as he goes into that monologue, oh, they sat me down at this restaurant. It was so horrible. And this woman was in the... They always sit me down next to the Muslims. Come on, look me in the eyes and tell me that's not scripted. And then my daughter said, what's that? You know, Alex Jones says, and then my daughter said, what's that? And what is Alex Jones doing? He's playing up the subhuman, oh my God, these people are like cockroaches invading our society. Hell, we're getting ready to go to war with China. Some people may not even be on food stamps. Some people may be laid off from their jobs. Some people may be homeless and have never been homeless before. They'll be rolling up to a Walmart thinking they're going to live in their car, and they're going to look up at a sign and it says no overnight parking, and they're going to go, oh fuck. As literally the shit is hitting the fan. And that's my greatest suspicion and fear. And I hope that's not going to be the case. I hope that we have things a little bit easier than that. But I think that people may be taken by surprise. And a sucker punch with brass knuckles, a thug coming around the corner, a robbery real quick, maybe an attack on your wife or girlfriend that you didn't see coming. Some of these things that are unfortunate in our world take us by surprise. So I'm going to conclude with this. You need to work on your peripheral vision, peripheral awareness, awareness of the energy. Be aware of the programming of others. And by being aware of the programming of others, even the race of others, that doesn't mean that you then return to them by nature that energy, racism or gender warfare. You could see the good in plenty of white people, but be able to zone in on that vibrational frequency when someone's seething hate. Because some of us are a little bit more experienced at experiencing some of that. Or from a black man. I remember a large black man towering over me saying, aren't you Iranian? Aren't you one of those sons of bitches? All I was doing was a school project interviewing people with a little microphone, what they thought about the U.S. attacking Iran. It was 2007. So what's really been on my mind in the last hour as I hit up a few thrift stores, I got a total of 5 books today. It's not often that, and I brought a book with me in case I needed something to read, Holographic Universe. But I ended up, at the end of the day, for under 20 bucks, 5 books, and I feel like I drew that information to me. A lot more information about the Four Corners, a lot more information about the Medicine Way, Native American spirituality. So I want to talk about energy because vibes is a word that's often used in our society, and some people think they get what's called bad vibes from some people. And I think what's really going on is that people can have intense energies, and people that are different, they can have, for example, different psychic energies, their ancestral spirits, and or biochemistry may have a certain reaction to others. Certain types of people. Looking for maybe a way to park in this mess. Not sure how I'm going to do this, but I think I'm going to park right here. Ooh. And so in these urban areas, you have people that are different in these multicultural places, and so some people do have like a level of programming that isn't very good. It isn't very good. And so being spiritual in a true sense is evolving beyond a certain level of tribalism that isn't healthy. It's body memory. And so there's that. But on another level, there's the programming of today's society that'll say some people are spiritual and other people aren't so spiritual. Their intense energies might be like threatening. Intense, powerful energies might be good if people knew, right? Like some of us might put off a field that is like something that demons are allergic to, or certain demons at least, maybe not all. And so in that intensity of an auric field, there could be power. Let me give you another example. And it's an example of a situation where somebody's dog will freak out on me, for example. And this is not uncommon, it's common. I think that animals see auras. But let's say someone has a totem animal. Let's say someone's totem animal is, I don't know if there's something about not mentioning your totem animal. I don't know if I violated that one, but I have a sense for some of the totem animals that I may have tapped into, that I may have worked with, or totem animals that may be like protector spirits. So a dog, for example, that can see, I'm just trying to get into a spot where I can get out. I mean, you take a look at this. This is, yeah, you don't want to be, so basically, an animal spirit could freak out a dog. That which is basically good can be seen that's something as threatening to a dog, and that dog or animal may not necessarily be threatened. They could be going like, whoa, hey, what's that? Oh my God, you got like a tiger with you. Oh my God, that's a moose. I've never seen like, and so, but the human that is unspiritual may see their animal freak out and they may not know why. They may not actually be able to communicate with their animal intuitively to know what their animal is trying to say, their pet. So their pet could be saying, wow, you look beautiful. You're golden. Ruff, ruff. And like the owner might be like, whoa, there might be something about that dude. So yeah, there is actually a very anti-spiritual tone to our society in the way that it treats people that are intense, people that it chooses to call crazy, for example. And oftentimes people call those crazy when they don't understand them, or when they're afraid of them or their ideas, or when they've been programmed by the mass media or culture or religion or by their family to view certain people a certain way. So some people, they literally don't have it in them to be able to see the spirituality and goodness in others because they're programmed, they're products of this world. There are even ways in which you might even notice the shift in consciousness in the dating world, whether you're a man or a woman. But as a man, I can tell you it's changed quite a bit in recent years. And even when you go to certain regions, there is a big zombie overtone to the whole thing. And there is, as I've said before, a worship, if you will, of the pale-skinned version of the female aspect of the society over others. And it is an imbalance to look at some people that may be perceived by a lot of us to be more beautiful on the outside or straight up sexy. It's a mistake to confuse that with spirituality. It's a big, big deal. It's a big, big deal. And even women are affected by it. When women that aren't as sexy, aren't as whatever, certain look, they're not going to be as popular on a certain level. And there are people that literally are drawn to people that glow a certain way on a physical level. It may not necessarily be spiritual. That's not to take away from those that have been spiritual and are. But this is to highlight that in this world, let me give you another example. I could be coming around the corner at a grocery store, and there could be a woman looking up that works there as I'm coming around. Both of us basically could freak each other out. We could freak each other out, like being scared of our own shadow. When psychics bump up against each other, it's some intense energy. And people don't really know how to deal with it. We're not really a culture that knows how to deal with those energies. It's a culture that ultimately programs people to think that someone may be stalking them. Like I've even had things where people turn around and go, who's that dude walking behind me? Why do I feel this way? And there could also be things that interfere with us having a good time as a human. There could be a reason why some people get bad vibes from some of us when we're in public. It may not be that like we've done anything wrong. It could be like we are literally sending out a vibe, and that could really impact people with demon attachments. They could literally be screaming, jumping on the backs of people going, evil person, evil person, evil person. whispering or screaming literally in their ear when you or I may not be an evil person. It may just be that that person is the one that really has the demons. But also with regards to that, let's say you or I or somebody else is a part of a ancestry in which part of it has been dominated by a religion. Let's say we turned away from that religion and we chose to be an independent. There could be elements of our ancestry that attacks us for being independent and not doing what the family wanted. Evil spirits attached to bloodlines even, for other reasons. And a lot of people can have these.